Denatured. As we grow up, we may not understand that an action changes a person. Indeed, it may not be very clear to us for a long time that this is so. That just as the man who digs the ground changes it, so he grows tired in the course of his work. So what we do generally has an effect on the world as well as changing us. Similarly, we may not have been very conscious of our ideas about love, being formed as we grew up by experiences that we may not have thought through, and in a way, we may be passing through life as if we are on a bus or a tube, not really aware of the reality of our relationships with people. We might have tried psychological help, books, and indeed conversations, but there was a deeper truth to discover, namely that of being a sinner in need of a saviour. Thus, Denatured looks at the many changes that we may go through, many of which are unfitting us for life and marriage, and therefore that there comes a point when God meets us where we are, loves us as we are, and takes us where we cannot go without him. Denatured. Proteins and enzymes are temperature changed to the point of damaging what was given into a disordering disruption of shaping fitting functions that belong in a soupy process producing healthy changes. Deep within the heart bursts the hope of a brilliantly beautiful, sparklingly fresh, undying love. But dazzling look-alike loves play like mirages upon the pained senses as a turn through the streets raises the question, to go in or to walk away. A clear no in the conscience is scrambled in going through the door of no return, unraveling a hitherto still struggling growing against secret, shameful pleasures. Dashing a youthful enthusiasm for romantic love, as the promise of beauty suffers a withering, shriveling recoil, and petals drop to pits that would be plunged if they were waste. Freedom's failure is finalized in a fettered future, slowly slipping out of the delightful disguises in which hopes of love dressed up incomplete giving, until it is clear that what was incompletely given has shackled the giver to a compulsively incomplete living. The wisdom of the church communicating the wholesome nature of love as a gift to be given in a moment's promise, unfolding a lifetime's loving, is like thumping on the chest of a man suffering a heart attack, who, if he survives, knows that the cause is untreated and the complaint will recur and return. Neither is it enough to go in and out of the church through the confession of sins, turning the whole thing into a turnstile or a revolving door, as one day in and another day out. Failure forms a future of being unable to pass through the matrimonial gate, as if the fear of suffering was like facing into the bared teeth of a beast, through which it was impossible to pass. On the edge of falling, I fell where only God meets the person going down with the grace that bears us up, because believing in his help turned falling into rising. Christ opened the hope of his help where only fearing the future was left, unfastening fear's trap that trapped me in the trappings of love, but denied me entrance to the cross and resurrection that awaits the matrimonial martyrdom. And just as the river waters run dirty in flood, when the rain-drenched hills wash down, so selfishness streams into the light and bleeds the blindness from living alone, opening the possibility of love between us, as if the very deformity of what was changed in the losing has become a kind of blooming gift of grace, shining through the wreckage of relationless loving. Denatured, from the collection Honest Rust and Gold, published by En route Books and Media, 2020. Thank you.